it's 6 months or 188 days since I did a real update on that private collection of 8 albums that I paid $1,300 for 1,500 cards. 188 days. I'm just going to call it the 6-month update. Each video I did was per album. So I did 8 videos in that playlist on YouTube. So the first one has a little bit more of an introduction about how I did the negotiation, and then I went through each of the videos and I showed you the cards, and I had a preliminary comp. I did a real quick comp on each one to show what that card's worth. And what this is all about is what to expect if you buy 1,500 cards for 82 cents a piece. What should you expect on a return on investment, and how to gauge your buys. That's what this is all about. Each video is a standalone video. It stands alone, and you can skip the first part in the introduction and just go right to the cards if you want to see the variety of cards in there. This gentleman collected these cards over many years, and most over New York or Catskill Mountains and stuff like that, and there were some good cards in there, as we'll see as we go through the details. I have been talking about a little bit in the weekly Wednesday videos that I do, but I haven't done a full update and go over the numbers. But I wanted to give you the numbers today in different ways. So the first one is, it's been 188 days. I paid $1,300. I've sold $1,944.51. Yes, $1,944.51 have sold in 188 days, 6 months. I've made $644.51 off of these cards. Now, I didn't take out fees, taxes, and all that stuff. I'm just doing raw numbers here. So you can take that 644 times 40% profit, you know, whatever you want to do. But this is just to show you that I got $644 above the $1,300 that I paid for it. And I've sold 292 cards out of this 8 albums in that time. That's 24%. So basically a quarter of the cards I've sold, and I got $2,000. Now let's get into a little deeper in the details, and each of the videos has a screen like this as I went through and listed them. What I track is the album number is my control, and the number of cards is a row. So like in album 1 I had 177 cards. Now overall at the end I came up and I spent 82 cents per card. That's a little higher than I normally pay out there, and there was 1,582 cards. Now the total cost is per each album as I went through and listed them in here, and my total cost at 82 cents a card was $1,297, so $1,300 with the rounding and stuff. But the ones in green are the albums that I actually have got a return on. I'm in the positive. The two at the bottom, 7 and 8, are still, 7's real close to being turning green, but 8 is only halfway there. And 8 is my last album that I did. 6-month update started when I listed my first card on album 1. Now the listed cost is what I listed each of the cards for in that album, and they totaled up to be $10,792. The sold column is what I sold from that album, and all of them are positive except 7 and 8. And then the number of cards sold out of each album. And everybody says, how do you keep track of this? It took a little bit of setup, but I actually have a row, 2 rows per album. I have album 1 listed, album 1 sold, and I just put them, all the numbers right in each, down the columns, and I did that for 8 albums. And I have a pivot table that actually goes and looks at each row, and it calculates in there in formulas. So when I sell a card, I'll see the title. At the end of every title, I'll put AB1, AB2, AB8, whatever album was, I'll see that when it sells, and I'll go over and update that row for the sold for that album, and then all my other calculations automatically set up. Yeah, it took me a couple hours to set that up, but now it's real simple. And in the beginning, I sold a lot of cards. People will cherry pick the cards. When you put a whole bunch of cards up, you're going to have a little increase in sales, and then it's going to trend off and peter out a little bit on there. So most of these sales probably came in the first 3 months, and then they're starting to slowly get down to normal average cards. Everybody picked what they wanted. All the saved searches in eBay got kicked off for Catskill Mountains. People went out looking at them. Offers went out. People following my store saw new stuff every week for this time frame as I was doing these 8 albums. So you're going to sell most of the cards in the beginning, then it's going to die off, and then it's just going to be like an average card for you. And that's what I expect now going forward. It's been 6 months, it's just gonna there. I sold 2 cards today for $16 total out of the special collection, and I updated my chart. The update for that, now I do have some other stats. Again, same type of chart, all 8 albums on the left. What my min listed is 455. That's my base. I list all postcards for the minimum. Listed average is 681. My highest was 813, but my listed average is 681 per card. The listed max, there is a couple cards that were worth more, like the Insane Asylum's album 3. I had a couple of those cards, and I sold one of them for $35. 35 is my max out of the highest price card out of the 1,500 cards in the 8 albums. And there are some $27 cards, $22, $25 cards in there. My lowest I sold for is 409, and that's 455 with a 10% offer probably, is usually where that falls. That's why I put it at 455, so I don't go below $4 if I do a 10% offer. The sold average over here is what the average card out of each album is selling for. And most of them are a little bit lower because of the offers that went out. But if you notice, my listed average was 681 and my sold average was 645, so I'm real close, only 40 cents off. Not too bad. Then the sold max, the highest card out of each album that I sold, I got album 2 $21.55, album 3 $35, and album 7 $16. So there are some higher cards in there that takes the average and brings it up a little bit, but my highest card that I sold was a $35 Insane Asylum. What I'm trying to get out there and what I'm monitoring myself is if somebody goes out and buys a private collection like this, 1,500 cards, and they pay almost $1 a card, what should they expect with a little above average cards on the return investment? What is the expectations? You're not going to get your money back overnight unless they're totally out of this world cards, one-offs and stuff like that. Or you might not get it off, they're just plain Florida, St. Augustine cards or Niagara Falls. You're not going to get a return. So you want to make sure the collections have some good cards in there to get your money back on. You're going to sell cards real quick at first, and then it's going to kind of go down is what it's showing. It's proven out that way. And I might get a little bump here and there, but all the safe searches are done. People look for them. Now I'm just getting the normal sell 1, 2, 3, 4 a week or 1 a week, stuff like that, just like normal with postcards, because sell-through rate on postcards, average postcards is 1% to 2%. So if you have 100 postcards listed on average postcards, I'm not talking Halloween cards, RPPCs, all that, those one-offs that will change the average because they're special, or the real low ones. I'm talking the average cards. If you have 100 cards listed, you can expect to sell 2 cards a month. If you have 1,000 listed, take the 2% is what it goes. And that's my sell-through rate on postcards, is 1% to 2%. And right now it's down a little bit because of the economy and stuff like that. So those are expectations. And you want to kind of track this every once in a while, do something like this to make sure you're doing the right business thing. Is this right? Am I getting payback for my time? Is it really worth doing this? And I gotta say, this is not a bad buy. To me, I'm happy with it. I got my money back in 6 months. I'm making money every month, and I got some really good cards for people to come in to my store and look at, and plus I was able to learn a lot about these cards from Catskill Mountain, so now I know what to look for. So there you go, 6-month update. And I'm sure I'll do another one by the end of the year, just to let you know how I'm doing. It won't be a real massive increase, I don't think, but we'll prove myself wrong, hopefully. Check this playlist out here. Nice, while you're listening, something to watch, listen to, get some ideas about Catskill Mountain postcards. All 8 videos and this one's in that playlist on YouTube. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.